What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Today we are checking out the Engoodening of No Man's Sky from Internet Historian. A few days back I reacted to the Fall of 76 from Internet Historian, and a lot of people really wanted me to check out this video, and I thought, why not? Bearing in mind this is a very long video. This is a 53-minute video from him, plus all the talking I'm going to do. This video is probably going to be over an hour, so be sure to get a snack and a drink and sit back and get ready for this. I don't know what No Man's Sky is. I think it's a game. I'm pretty sure it's a game. I've heard of it, but like Fallout, I never played it. You know what I mean? So this will be all new to me. Everything that goes on here. I don't think this is as tragic a story as Fallout 76, where it just never got better. This one says the Engoodening, so I'm assuming No Man's Sky got better. Maybe it was trash when it came out. Now it's better. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. I do upload every single day, so yeah, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, I do stream on Twitch. We stream all kinds of games, sometimes suggested by Discord members, all that good stuff. You can come and chill. I play all kinds of games, and we will be doing a lot more streams in the future, so be sure to follow me there if you haven't already. And for all the latest updates on the YouTube channel, the Twitch, and you know, all kinds of good stuff, join the Discord. You know, you can meet some new friends. Discord is always fun, so be sure to come and join our Discord as well. But yeah, man, we're gonna get into this video. Let's go, dude.
Sponsored by that game everyone loves. Scientists are racing to unlock the secrets of the cosmos. Questions we once thought impossible to answer are within our grasp. Where does the sun go at night?
What?
Is math related to science?
When were these questions are like from 500 years ago? Where does the sun go at night? Nowhere. Is maths and science related? You know, someone told me, and I think this is the perfect way to describe the relation between math and science. Somebody said math is the language of science, right? I think that's the perfect way to put it, because that's what it is.
If the universe is so big, then why won't it fight me? As we look further into the universe, we see light from distant stars, eons old, perhaps hundreds, even thousands of miles away.
In fact, even possibly destroyed.
Hold on.
Jesus
Can
Christ.
I get a zoom in on that?
You bet I can. This is one of the world's most powerful telescopes. Initiating 6 times zoom.
Can this baby do 7?
I can do you one better. Maneuvering to 8 times zoom.
Pressure rising, holding steady. I can see it. Unblur.
It won't hold.
Get me 8.5 times.
You're a madman.
Upscale it to 4K.
The helium tanks will go critical.
Why is there ammo?
Opening the blinds. Hold her steady. Uncropping and increasing aspect ratio. Now,
What am I seeing?
There it is. Life on another world. And to think, we owe it all to one indie development studio.
Let's go, dude. What is going on here?
Games.
Hello Games. Never heard of them, I'm not gonna lie.
Let's start at the beginning.
Oh, not this again.
Yeah, it's rewind time. Okay, the year is 2009. Guildford, England.
Oh,
There's a
wait.
man named Sean Murray,
That's kind of near me, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie.
and he's just founded a company called Hello Games. Sean and the boys are working hard
Sean
on
and
a
the
brand new
boys.
IP called Joe Danger. 2010 AD. The game just came out. It's a success. They're a small team, but they are ambitious. Let's do something bigger, said Sean.
Car football.
Let's reach for the stars. How about Joe Danger 2? Brilliant. It's 2012. Joe Danger 2 has just come out. But that one doesn't perform as well.
Ouch.
We need to do something even bigger. than Joe
Minecraft
Danger 2.
18 plus. I'm pretty sure you could probably download a modded version of Minecraft that would be 18 plus.
Joe Danger 3? No. Even more out of this world. Something
Joe Danger 4?
no man has done before. Joe Danger the mobile game? Yes! And that came out in 2014. Seriously, guys,
Lord.
the biggest thing you can think of. I'm just a stock image, dude. Why don't you think of something?
Sean pondered for a moment, then turned and looked wistfully into the mirror. Reflected back was the visage of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
If you're going to make a space game, first person, it's never been done before. How about that? I'm going up in orbit to...
Is that him with Joe Rogan?
That's
Yes,
not
it
a
is.
knife. Who are you going to have sex with? How much microwaves are coursing through your body now?
Planet,
Lord.
said Murray. Space game. Procedural generation. Planet. Okay, that sounds good. Yes, we all agree. So they set to work, cobbled together a prototype, and by VGX 2013, they are ready to announce another new IP.
No Man's Sky.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Every rock. They put a picture of the rock. What the heck?
Oh, this is special. Oh my god! This is special. Yes. No!
It's 2014, and it's E3 hype time. No Man's Sky has promised to be a game like no other. A practically boundless experience vibrant with life and color and things to explore. What's over there? You'll have to be the one to discover it. And then, wow, look at that big f***ing dinosaur, holy shit.
Jesus.
And
Is E3 just the place where you hype games up, right? I'm pretty sure E3 is like the announcement of a lot of games, is it not? I'm pretty sure that's where the whole Fallout 76 thing went down too, so sticky one.
a moment later, we're in space, having a battle amongst a giant fleet. Claim a planet as your own. Explore the galaxy with your friends.
Okay, that's it. This is going to be the best game ever, you guys. It even won awards for its hype.
How?
And it will release in June 2016. The hype train was officially loading up and ready to chug out of the station. At every stop of the journey, there would be
Wait,
press
you went on-
junkets talking about the amazing scale of the game. Spread across 18 quintillion planets. It's so vast that by the time you finish exploring it all, I would have 2 new videos published.
Wow.
Sean himself was doing the interviews.
I love how all these YouTubers make the joke. Oversimplified does it as well. When there's a massive time period and they say, I will have 1 new video or 2 new videos. It's actually hilarious. But to be fair, their videos take forever to make, but it still makes me laugh. So they've tried to make a massive game that you would never be able to explore. This already sounds like it's going downhill, to be fair. And the clips I saw didn't excite me, you know? So
Because who is better to talk about the game than the lead guy himself? He went from interview to interview, and with each question, the answers he gave raised people's expectations of the game's scope.
Can you land on a comet? Yeah, at the moment you can land on asteroids.
You could encounter other players.
Can you grief other players? A little bit. They're literally building your own, like, massively multiplayer world that's procedurally generated.
Sand planets like in Dune. Rivers. Walking sentinels. Hacking. So
Jarvis, why?
sophisticated that light
my man, the meme of fucking face Jarvis. Bro, that's hilarious.
diffracts through the atoms. They had to redevelop the whole periodic table to make it work.
Yikes.
Even Elon Musk was hyped for it.
Musk. Fair play. The expectations
2
are high.
years go by. It's early 2016, and that hype train is
Hey,
really
Thanos.
moving now. Perhaps one of the biggest in video game history. Reddit was shoveling most of the gamer fuel. Skeptics and naysayers are treated as ballast and thrown from the carriage doors.
Oh,
Pre-orders open, and they are doing very well.
100
The date is booked in. Some are even taking the day off work.
Oh,
So
no,
much hype
don't
there
do
is
that.
Uh-oh. Jason Schreier of the soon-to-be-defunct Kotaku is about to spoil the party. He announces a delay. From June 2016 to August.
2-month delay.
Oh my god.
Liar, the incensed audience cries. Please be quiet, they said. And death threats, too.
You see what I
It was
mean?
100%.
You see, I addressed this in the last video. If the game's not fully functional, right? and you bring it out, people are going to be pissed, like Fallout. If the game's not fully functional and you delay it, people are still going to get angry. Like, you can't win in that situation, man. You can't, unless you don't set a release date. Oh, nah, like, people are getting angry. Like, I can understand why you're getting angry, but still, you can't win in that situation. Like, you just can't. I'm not defending the games in any way, but I did address it last time, like, yo. And all the expectations, this is one thing. I saw a quote the other day. It's like, if you have expectations, you're going to be disappointed. And he said something about, you need to anticipate what could happen, right? This could happen, and it would be nice if that could happen. But if you expect something to happen, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. And I'm going to use that in this situation here.
Right. A week later, the delay is officially announced.
Fair play.
"Ooh, sorry, lads. We need more polish," said Sean in his usual accent. To that, Sean received some death threats too, by the way.
Wow. You
although
see
he
what?
didn't take
Why?
them seriously or go to the police. Yet.
Sometimes
This is what I mean. Why are you sending death threats? Bro, it couldn't be me. That's all I'm saying. It couldn't be me. People need to check themselves, bro. I know they said the game's coming out, and I know you're excited, but, like, death threats. You want him to release your broken game so you can moan. Like, honestly.
shadowing is relatively obvious.
But the impatient crowd relaxed a bit and said, "Fine, we will
Fine.
wait."
How many delays,
We
though?
expect
You
a
know?
level of polish no man has ever seen.
These guys are...
Speaking of waiting, Shadow Man here. Have you heard of Rain
boys.
Shady? My wife died in...
I won't skip it this time. God damn, I didn't even watch his advert last time. I just fast forwarded it, and you guys were fucking roasting me in the comments. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, boys. Chill, alright? God damn.
Plane crash.
We can watch
Let's
it.
get serious for a moment. Raid isn't just a game with 15 million downloads in the last 6 months. It's a lifestyle. Think differently. Play Raid differently. Achieve your dreams. I'm sorry, sir. You've contracted Raids. That's good. Congratulations, it's Gorgorub of the Undead Horde.
My life, Bonezu.
You've just collected one of over 400 champions. Why, hello
400
there.
champions.
Have you
Is it
heard
pay
about
to
the
win?
online RPG PvP? It's extremely well reviewed on the Play Store. Oh, you remind me of my wife. Raid is more than just a game. It's a reassuring pat on the back from your dad. It's a warm bowl
What
of
if you don't
soup
have a
on
dad?
a cold night. It's one last dance at your wife's funeral. If you haven't played in
that's
the
kinda
arena yet,
disturbing.
I'm gonna break into your house. You're all getting Raid for Christmas, kids. Yay! And if you download now, kids, using the link in the description below, you can get an extra 50k silver and an epic champion. Wow, you're the best dad ever. Wait, Mum's dead?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Ad over.
Fair enough. You guys did say that his adverts were funny. I didn't even know that. I mean, I've heard of the game, you know? Hey man, you guys can go and download the link if you really want. Go download the game. Personally, I'm not going to, but do it, you know what I mean? Not gonna lie, I thought Raid was like a bug spray. But, you know, I have heard of the game. I used to fucking get adverts all the time on my on YouTube videos for it, so yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
So let's talk about the team in charge of all that polishing. It's small. Tiny. In fact, I haven't been able to find a smaller team behind a AAA release. All of these expectations are on the shoulders of just 6 people, expanding to a team of 15 by the end of production.
Why 3 of them him?
July. It's just a couple of weeks until the release date. Whatever the state of the game by now, however much it's finished, that's what's going out. The Hello Games team celebrates with this iconic image.
The quintessential selfie.
They're exhausted. Look at what video game production does to a man.
God, what's wrong with your face?
Nonetheless, they continue, working on the day 1 patch.
Hey man.
And
Stress.
Sean, if your game isn't coming out for another 2 weeks, then why is there a box copy on eBay?
Oh no.
That's right. It's a leak. Someone broke the
Is it a leak? Is it a leak? As in, the company leaked the game? Or is it just a guy faking it? Or did someone rip you off and try and sell it on eBay? You know what I mean? I mean, getting, like, the guy aged that much. I mean, stress is, I don't know. I don't know if it's proven, but I'm pretty sure stress leads to aging, you know what I mean? Stress is not fun. Just look at all the presidents and prime ministers and all of them before and after they leave office.
And is selling early access to the highest bidder. And the bids start rolling in.
My God. Why?
It reaches $1,300 US. Sold to some guy with the Reddit handle Damien. He gets his hands on it and starts uploading footage to YouTube and Dailymotion.
Dailymotion.
What the frick? Said Sean and Sony. Damien finished it a lot quicker than expected, but he gave it a decent review.
There are things I don't like, there are things I like, but at the end of the day, when I say to myself, what is this game supposed to be? This, what I'm looking at right here, this is what the game is supposed to be.
He noted a few problems, but said he was optimistic that they would be ironed out with the day one patch. Sean?
Surely they could have copyrighted his shit and struck it down, no? If they wanted to. Obviously they didn't want to.
It's another leak. Some retailers broke the official release date.
Wow.
Journalists too. And they started streaming playthroughs of the game. What the fuck? Sony tried to DMCA all these videos, but their aim was terrible.
Round of applause, everyone. We've officially become No Man's censored by Sony.
Our news story from earlier this week about No Man's Sky leaks has been hit with a copyright strike on YouTube.
They went bumbling around from platform to platform, just taking down any video that even talked about the leak or showed the trailer footage. But it was too late. The footage had people talking more skeptically about the game. Especially because there were no early review copies.
That's bad.
And it was looking like the weight of all these expectations had become too much. And the whole thing was about to give.
What did I tell you about expectations?
Oh no. It's August. Everyone's here. We've all bought the game and we're fucking hyped. Here we go, lads. Oh dear Lord, it isn't finished. Hello, Sean. It is me, the auditor of games. I used to work at an astronomy lab. Don't worry about that. It seems like you've made a lot of promises. Promises that you have not kept. Let's go through the checklist. Have you got any large-scale joinable space battles?
Nope.
Nobody would want that.
Ringed planets?
No.
Fine. Well, at least let me play as a trader.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them...
No.
Those sand planets from June look nice. Think I might... Please, Sean, there must be rivers.
No
rivers.
No, it's not.
Animals interact with each other in the environment?
No.
Packs of walking sentinels, Sean.
No.
I'm literally crying right now. Should I even ask whether I can play as a space pirate?
Did he promise all this? Probably did.
No.
Factions with different attributes.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
My God.
Fly between star systems manually.
But nobody's actually done it yet.
If I can maneuver like in the trailer, I'll still be happy.
No.
Well, day-night cycles determined by the orbit of the sun.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Land on an asteroid, radio chat, and name your shit. Hacking, portals, all that stuff about the elements, Sean.
No.
This is not good, Sean. This is very not good.
And ironically, the only bugs this game doesn't have are the butterflies in the demo.
Buried buildings, aggressive emojis, tractor beam malfunctions, animal husbandry, oil slick world, raining grass, retarded animals doing retarded things. Ship's interiors disappear, first person mode as a gun. That's not how flying works. That's my only means of transportation, leaving the...
So, the reason people are hating on this game is because they promised a shit ton of stuff that just never came out. I mean, I guess the Engoodening, surely they probably bought all this stuff out one at a time, right?
The planet take
At least
off.
I hope they did.
Really take off.
My
Holes
God.
in the map. Holes in my graphics card. A whole lot of nothing from down here. Textures bugging out. Animals bugging out. Animals breakdancing. Look at these busy hands. Hello there. And a couple of unrequested ejector seats.
General Kenobi.
Okay, that's a lot of stuff. I get the picture.
No wait, poor graphics rendering, some can't even start the game, frame rate issues, constant crashes, major publications are having trouble playing the game on their machines, even the best 1080 Ti's are stuttering. Alt-tabbing? That's a guaranteed crash. Desktop notifications? That's a crash. Playing the game? That's a crash. Changing options in the game without restarting? You'll
I'd
get
be
this.
pissed.
And if you got the pre-order version with the bonus spaceship, you might have a problem. Your special ship already comes with a hyperdrive inside it. Great, right? No, because you have to craft it in order to finish the tutorial missions. And if you haven't finished the tutorial missions, you can't leave the star system. So whoops, until they patch it, you're stranded.
That's why I give my kids No Man's Sky.
Down she goes.
Ah, my ship's in bits! Okay, thank you.
Just a quick note about how high expectations were for this game and just how many people bought it on release, myself included.
I didn't even know it existed.
Over 750,000 purchases on Steam at launch.
Wow. $43 million. Hey, Warhammer! Fallout 4. I saw GTA as like second. I definitely bought GTA on release, GTA 5.
It's the single best-selling game on the PlayStation Store that month. And the large proportion of people who bought it in the hopes of playing with their friends, well, you're in for a surprise. This one is a literal game changer.
Multiplayer
Is it even
scandal.
possible to meet up with your friends in No Man's Sky? The answer is absolutely yes, it's possible.
On multiple occasions, Sean said it was definitely in the game.
Will you be able to play with your friends? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you run into other people, other players on the game?
Yes.
But then just before the release, Sean posted this cryptic tweet. To be super clear, No Man's Sky is not a multiplayer game. Please don't go in looking for that experience.
False advertising! False advertising!
There's no multiplayer function. But then the next line contradicts.
God damn it!
Because the chances of two players ever crossing paths in a universe this big is pretty much zero. Oh, so it is multiplayer. You just have to overcome this finding each other hurdle.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
So, he said that because the game's not multiplayer, and he wants to give people the hope. And to say, oh, a game's so big, the chance of you running into each other is just so low. You know, yeah. Don't go looking, though. Don't go looking.
Right? No, it's more confusing than that. Because the box doesn't mention online playing, just network features. And the collector's edition had its online play icon stick it over. So customers are going, which one is it, Sean? Just tell us if it has multiplayer or it doesn't have multiplayer. Sean wouldn't give any answers. But after hundreds of thousands of purchases, people soon took it upon themselves to find out. Despite the claims that it would be so improbable.
Chances that are incredibly rare, just because of the size and probability.
On the very first day, two people noticed they were only 4 star systems from one another, and they met up on the same planet in a live stream. Oh dear.
A black pillow.
Our streams are exactly lined up. If you go look at my stream, we're looking at the exact same area right
now. No.
Yep, that's the same spot. And they can't see each other.
I'm alone!
That settles it. It's not multiplayer because it's so big. It's not multiplayer because it's just not fucking multiplayer. And this led to quite a revolt. What did Sean
No Man's Lie.
So amazing, 2 people found each other on the first day. That has blown my mind.
So why can't we see other players in game?
Wow, so many of you playing.
Yeah, Sean, but why?
Truly amazing. My mind is blown.
So what's
that bit reminds me a bit of GTA 5 when it first came out, because they said the multiplayer would come out, like, I think it was a month after. It took them quite a while to actually put the multiplayer for GTA 5 online. And then heists, which was probably the main thing they advertised a lot of us bought the game for, was that you could play heists with your friends. And I don't remember how long it took them to bring out GTA Heists after the game was released, but it did take them quite a while. And there was quite a few glitches in GTA for unlimited money and stuff like that too.
What's the game actually like then?
Is it any good? That is a difficult thing to say.
That means no.
It certainly is stylish and pretty, and there are a lot of places to explore. But that doesn't mean there's much to find.
I like the concept.
In fact, the game boils down to a very simple loop. Hold down the trigger to pick up resources, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, leave the planet,
boring.
Go to another planet, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. That's it. $60, ladies and gentlemen.
Refuel your multi-tool, refuel your life support, refuel a separate part of your multi-tool that shoots bullets instead of the mining beam, refuel your launch thrusters. It's busy work that makes it look like you have something to do. It's not real.
That sucks.
How dare you?
What followed was one of the most dramatic crashes in player numbers in gaming history. Sales in the UK fell by 81% in the second week. Concurrent players on Steam dropped from 212,000 in August to just over 2,000 by September, and fewer than 1,000 by October. And what followed that was perhaps the biggest pylon in gaming history.
Oof. The YouTubers
Reviewers
coming.
on YouTube panned the game.
They coming for you, boy.
You done fucked it up! I had no hype, and I can tell you that, even without that disappointment, this game is hot garbage.
Has anyone coined Sean Mourinho yet?
Numerous times within the first 2 hours of the game, I kept saying, this is it, fuck this shit.
Reviewers in the media were almost as harsh.
Devastating realization that most of the crafting, combat, and other activities you do on and between those planets ranges between bemusing and outright bad.
The criticism was deafening. And
You
a
do
lot
that
of
to
it
me,
really
you
funny
get
and
punched,
creative.
sorry.
Krobycat made a video that captured the sentiment of that day.
If anyone screams in my face with one of those megaphones, they will end up on the ground. That's
If
what
you
I'm
haven't
gonna say.
seen it yet, you're missing out. So people are furious. The game is boring, and soon people discover that complaining about the game is actually more fun than playing it.
Wait, I'm now 3.5 hours into the tutorial, pretty much.
So they started complaining about it like they were grinding for an achievement.
This sucks. Fucking Minecraft in space.
Many people made compilations of all the unfulfilled promises. One guy on the subreddit compiled a big list of all the missing features. Front page. Got a defense for No Man's Sky? Enjoy your downvote. In fact, the entire No Man's Sky subreddit was in such disarray it had to be locked. So by the end of the month, Metacritic was like scrolling through a bowl of Cheerios. By October, it was one of the worst rated games on Steam, with an aggregate of mostly negative.
Buddy, oh my god. Let's round up to 11k positive reviews to almost 70,000 negative. My god. It just reminds me of like the YouTube Rewind. Oh my god, and Fallout 76.
And 70,000 reviews. The outrage at the game was headline news for weeks on dozens of games news publications, and the price on eBay and Amazon and secondhand at GameStop was crashing through the floor.
$1.
Please, no more. But the beatings had only just begun. The demo planet was data mined and found to be, of course, totally scripted and not randomly generated at all.
I just got to pick one of these at random. If anything horrible goes wrong, just keep in mind that I've not been here before.
It wasn't some level that we built or something like that, even though I think it looks quite nice in places.
People watching this would wonder why you're showing this area again. Like, what's so special about demoing the game on this planet?
Oh, no, it's just a place that looks nice.
No, Bad Murray.
I could have ended the demo with some,
Carl Sagan.
crazy thing that would happen. You know what I mean? The normal thing of like, and then a monster emerges from behind the mountains,
What is that?
People see what's going on with the game and feel lied to. This is false advertising.
Hey, show the cat.
And angry customers start scoping out a lawsuit.
Uh-oh.
On September 28th, the ASA busted
This
through
is
the door
only a
and goes,
month.
Yep. Too many complaints. We're going to investigate.
You're telling me that after a month of the game being out almost, people were selling it for $1. That's hilarious. I want Internet Historian to make a video on FIFA.
But then soon after, the ASA cleared them of any legal wrongdoing. Technically, the only thing they're interested in is what's on the back of the box, what's on the store page, and what's on the Steam page. So it's technically not false advertising. But of course, technically not illegal doesn't mean much to an angry audience. October 28th, Hello Games Twitter is hacked. The hacker posts, "No Man's Sky was a mistake," and is shitting on the game in the replies. Turns out Sean didn't use two-factor authentication on his LinkedIn, and that's how they got in. They also sent discrediting emails to journalists, which they knew would rile people up if published. Some people even show up to their offices to take photos and knock on the door, even at night and on the weekend.
Don't do that, boys.
They posted empty pictures of the office, so, naturally out of context, this started rumors that Hello Games simply took the money and ran. This in addition to numerous bomb and death threats during that period. Those ones Sean did have to take seriously.
Regular intervention from police and Scotland Yard and things like that.
And while Sony didn't quite throw them under the bus, it was more like a gentle push under a minivan when Sony President Shohei Yoshida admitted that Hello Games did not have a great PR strategy for No Man's Sky. The press took the ball with that one and ran.
I swear PlayStation and Sony kind of shit on a lot of people though. Like, the whole Fortnite situation is the only thing I can remember right now is of when, obviously it's now cross-platform, every platform can play with each other right now. PS4 didn't want that initially. They refused multiple times on multiple games to be cross-platform with Xbox, right? So, I mean, they had to do it for Fortnite because if not, they would have probably lost quite a few players. So, you know, Sony, so it doesn't surprise me Sony threw them under the bus.
But despite all of this, all of the negative press, they were actually nominated for a couple of awards.
What?
But by this point, Murray and the other members of Hello Games...
Let me see what other games were also nominated. Nah. Let me see what other games were also nominated.
All of the negative press.
The Witness, Inside, No Man's Sky, Firewatch, Pokemon Go. The only other game I've heard of there, Pokemon Go. What about the next one?
Actually nominated for a couple of awards.
The other one, Battlefield 1, EA. Just no, sorry boys. Overwatch, Doom, Uncharted 4. Okay.
Awards. But by this point, Murray and the other members of Hello Games were so downtrodden and so sure they weren't going to win that they opted to go elsewhere for dinner.
Did they won?
And the Innovation Award goes to No Man's Sky.
Oh, bro.
This lovely trophy going once.
Whoops.
I'm going to accept this on the behalf of Hello Games, and congratulations to them. And now I'm going to walk off stage like I planned that whole thing.
By this point, you've got to feel just a little bit sorry for them. And then what followed that was the final straw for many. No particular incident, but a lack of incidents. Silence. Over 3 months of not a damn word from No Man's Sky. Where are they? Where is my refund? Where is Murray?
Where are you, Murray?
The game was over. And it was dead.
R.I.P.
The year is 2000 AD. Sean has just graduated from university and is headed into the big wide world.
Oh, so we're gonna get it from their side now. Fair enough.
He rises up the ranks at a number of studios, eventually working as a technical lead for Black and technical director for Burnout 3.
I have heard of Burnout.
When Burnout's developer is bought by EA, he is in his late 20s. And he and 3 of his buddies decide to leave and start their own studio.
Probably the right decision there, let's be honest.
Hello Games. This was a risky venture.
Of course.
So we'd done this incredibly foolish thing of like quitting our jobs, and then we had to sit down and try and decide what the game was going to be.
Together they create their first title, Joe Danger. They work on this game day and night. In fact, even once they were arrested in their own office because the police thought they were there to rob the place. Because who would be working at 11 PM on a Sunday night?
Right, fair enough.
But they had to work that hard. Like any startup, it was a huge financial and professional risk. they had no income. They were working in a tiny room above an old tile shop, living off savings. And to keep the project running, Sean even sold his house.
So we made a really tough and probably at the time seemed really foolish decision. It's kind of almost embarrassing for me to talk about. I sold my house and just basically went all in and funded what we were doing, which is not something I would recommend anyone else.
Probably not.
But by June 8th, 2010...
That's a similar story with a lot of those billionaire companies, though. Like, they slept in their goddamn office. Bill Gates and all those guys. Jeff Bezos.
Had done it. The game was good. And they could breathe a sigh of relief, because on the very first day it hit the PlayStation Store, they made their money back.
Played.
2 years later, Joe Danger 2 was released. It was not the commercial success they had hoped for, and they didn't want to just keep pumping out sequels. That was a trap big players in the industry would get them into. In his spare time, Sean started working...
I've got to say, Call of Duty really did fuck themselves over, because up until, I think, Black Ops 2, and then after that, really and truly it's been straight downhill from there, you know, and Call of Duty have lost a lot of player base for sure.
On a prototype for a procedurally generated game. They took another gamble and scrambled to get a trailer out in time to present at VGX 2013. So the project is official now, and the pressure is on. Around this time, Sean is also looking to start a family. Concurrent to all this development, he would go on to have 3 kids, so the weight of responsibility is really piling on. But their hard work will pay off, as they're finally going to have a chance for some R&R around Christmas.
They woke up to find their homes flooded, their cars submerged, and their plans for Christmas Day very much ruined.
Bad news. Rain. Rain and flooding in the south of England, right around the Hello Games office. They are completely inundated, and they return from their holidays to find laptops floating around at waist height. But some good news. They hadn't lost any data. So they pull together. Soldier on.
Lucky.
Development continues. So there they are, working in a damp office, and then ding dong. Ooh, who's at the door? It's Danish mathematician Dr. Johan Gerlis. He's seen the game, and he says, "They are using my super formula," in perfect English, and there is a potential for a lawsuit. Sean says they didn't, and he can prove it. So they have a meeting, and the claim is eventually dropped. Lawsuit evaded. So back to work, guys. Ding dong. It's Sky Television. They've seen the game.
You are infringing on our Sky trademark,
they said in perfect text-to-speech. They had succeeded in getting Microsoft to change SkyDrive to OneDrive, and they were about to give gamers No Man's 1 under threat of lawsuit. But this lawsuit didn't just go away. The threat loomed over them for the next 3 years, right up until the month before release.
Sky.
So they get back to work and...
we can safely say Sky are slowly but surely dying off. You know what I mean? Not in the internet business, because they do provide internet, but their channels have pretty much been labelled rip-offs now, because in the UK, Sky, they give you got Sky Movies package, you got Sky Sports package, you got all of that. And those are extremely expensive to pay for those, right? Sky Movies basically recycles the same movies all day long, right? And there's like 50 or 20 to 50 movie channels. You're never going to watch the movie, so it's a waste of time. No one buys that package anymore, surely. Then you've got Sky Sports, and Sky Sports have actually been losing a lot of their shit, man. I think they did buy back NBA rights for the UK, but they lost Champions League, they lost a lot of Premier League games to BT, they lost a lot of their stuff. So yeah, Sky Sports, slowly but surely, you know?
Ding dong.
I think you trademark
with
the
some
word
good
Sky.
news for once. We like a game, kid. We want to feature it front and center and make you a big star. This could mean millions of dollars in additional revenue. They said, yeah. But along with it, a lot of press for this game would need to be done. Being a small team, they didn't have anyone for PR. They had their designers, they had their developers, and that was about it. So it's up to Murray. Sean's in his early 30s now. Not super young, but relatively young, and inexperienced for this type of media circuit. This deal with Sony put extra pressure on them. It set deadlines. It's not that it's Sony's fault, but they're locked in now with much less flexibility. So when May rolls around, and they have no option but to delay, even if they wanted to ask for an extra 6 to 12 months of development, which they really need, it's probably too much to ask for. So they extend from late June to August. Only 6 weeks. From here, you can predict what's going to happen to multiplayer and a bunch of other promised features.
Makes sense.
So here's how the hype happened.
It makes sense. It makes sense now that they needed more time. See, this is what I mean with, like, but you need to convey this. Yeah, at the same time, you need to say. And people need to not send death threats. People are fucking crazy, dude. But it makes sense, man. They got caught up in the hype. They saw the money. They thought, yeah, this is our chance to make it big. And they kind of messed it up. It's understandable, though.
Time. And here's the line which shows the reality of development. Progress is steady and ends in August 2016. Now here is the line of player expectations.
Wow.
It should start out here and follow along the purple. But the overhyping trailer comes out and puts us way up here. In this trailer, it features a bunch of things that Hello Games thinks they're capable of having in the game by 2016. That's the first big mistake. Then it's announced for PlayStation and it costs $60 and there's a collector's edition. Second, even bigger mistake. That puts us all the way up here. And I think this is the main problem, because price tags set expectations.
Well,
For a
all games are
$60
like
game, this was
$60
seriously barren and disappointing. Now, if they had put it out for $20 as an indie game or an alpha...
I remember the days where you could buy a brand new game for like £20, dude, or £30, and they just go up by £10 in every few years, man. Now they're like £60 for a new game. It's crazy.
No problem. But when they gave it the AAA treatment, people rightfully aligned their expectations with other games in that category.
Dark Souls.
That is the main reason customers' expectations were so skewed. Then Murray went to interviews, exacerbating the problem. Every time he mentioned a feature in the game, even in passing, fans set their expectations to AAA heights for that feature.
What I say about expectations.
Now, some people think the interviews are the main problem. In my humble opinion, not so much. Most people never saw these interviews. It's not that rickety 12-foot ladder Sean's standing on that's the main problem. It's the 900-foot building he's perched it on in the first place. So the obvious solution here would be an official statement. Hey guys, look, don't expect a 10 out of 10. Expect more of a 5 out of 10. No, the publisher just sank an enormous investment of marketing and opportunity into the game.
What's wrong with you?
And that would be a huge middle finger to them.
True.
The publisher isn't going to make you hype the shit out of your game, but you can't talk it down either. So, he's kind of stuck up there. In some ways, during the interview, he tries to temper expectations, but it's limited.
Can you build a space station?
No.
But let's not gloss over the interviews. Sean is a technical guy. He's a developer. He's also the introverted type. And the big lights and the stuff on camera does not come naturally to him.
Is it super nerve-wracking to talk on stage at E3?
Yes. Yes, definitely. I personally find going on stage at E3 like the hardest thing I've ever done. That's something that I would have had in a nightmare before. You know what I mean? It's
literally the hardest thing you've ever done?
Yeah.
Still, he stepped up and took interviews for his game from 2013 to 2016. And the main thing people wanted to hear about were the features.
Can you have more than...
So every planet, will there be wormholes?
Right.
At what point...
Do you get points or anything?
From these interviews, people took Sean to be a liar, a Peter Molyneux or a chess club member out to sell his game at whatever reputational cost. But I think the truth is more complicated than that. Sean and the team are indie developers working on a new IP. Their project and plans are constantly in flux. They have no idea how large chunks of the game are going to look, especially not a couple of years out from release. And crucially, Sean doesn't understand that something mentioned in 2013, even said in passing, is going to be seen as a promise in the year 2016, even if by then you've decided to cut it from the game. For example, orbiting around the sun.
Day has turned it out because the planet has actually rotated on its axis.
This originally was in the game, but it caused the player too much confusion. It kept being reported as a bug in the beta, as people left the planet and then returned to find everything different. But nonetheless, into the Lion compilation it goes. So while they're still essentially formulating the game, the media all want a piece of Sean and to report on features first. Conversely, Sean thinks the reporters might help him to temper down things by emphasizing that Hello Games is an indie studio. But that is not how journalism is done.
Correct.
This is how journalism is done.
Can you customize the look of your character?
Sort of.
Full customization confirmed in No Man's Sky.
Yep. This is why I do your research, ladies and gentlemen. Do your goddamn research, man. Like, if someone says something, man, you have to look into it. This goes for anything, man. Twitter is especially the one. And article headlines. Don't just read the headline, man. Like, honestly, that's someone to blame on the news companies, bro. They just want clicks.
Periodic table to create atmospheric particles that would diffract light at just the right wavelength.
Who the f*** told you? The press kind of operates downstream from the community because things are click-driven as to what stories you get served and things like that. But a rumor would surface from Reddit straight to the front page.
There's all this hype, and the project has increased in scope dramatically and keeps increasing as the months go by until a point. They are close to the deadline and have to delay, and the reality of what they can achieve in the little time remaining is staring them in the face. They know they're not going to be putting out a finished game. They're worried. There's nothing more they can do. And the fear that they will disappoint the audience is growing on Sean and the team.
I worry about, like, disappointing people.
Upon release, all of these clips are seen as proof that Sean is a liar. And what doesn't help is his body language. I mean, it's kind of the body language of someone who is lying. And this is why I mentioned he's an introvert. Remember, he's a technical lead. Actually, a really good one. But not a salesman. Cut him just a little bit of slack, because this is simply how he talks. Here are some innocuous questions, and he answers them honestly.
Lead producers on No Man's Sky?
Yeah, I guess I'm a developer on it. I suppose the creator or something like that. No, I really like making games. I don't necessarily love talking about it.
I think you did a good job.
Even though you guys are very nice.
Mate, seriously.
That makes
Same
sense.
body language.
I would struggle, probably. I would struggle in this. That's why you need a salesman, dude. That's like, you need to know your strengths, and then what you don't have, you fill in with other people. That's what every successful person does, right? If you suck at, for example, build DIY, you pay someone to do your DIY. I mean, if you can't afford it, then you're kind of stuck. But in this situation, he probably could pay somebody to go on a PR tour for him. He probably could afford a PR team, or at least a guy.
On stage and in front of cameras and bright lights and on the goddamn Colbert Report. Try keeping your nerve on that. Nonetheless, free of that context, the clips have him cemented in the community as a liar.
Back to disaster.
So the graph plays out right to release. And that graph, it's actually a track. And that track is what the hype train runs on. So it comes barreling up the hill. Instead of neatly pulling into the station, it comes crashing right through the roof.
And you're dead.
The disaster unfolds. They are absolutely shit on.
Get shit on.
So there were Sean and Hello Games, surrounded by the rubble of their former reputation. Punished Sean was at his lowest point. Hated by the majority of the game community,
YouTube,
but they were still alive, and they had made tens of millions of dollars. They were left with two choices. Take the money, start a new project, and be a pariah, a cautionary tale of the industry and hated by the gaming community forever.
So EA?
Or
pick
themselves up, get back to work, and with potentially no profit motive, finish the game.
It allowed me to do something that I've always done in difficult times, whether it was crappy bosses that I've dealt with before or crappy situations at school growing up. I got my head down, I sat in front of a computer, and I made games, which is what I enjoy.
They picked number 2.
Fair enough.
So
At least they will fix their reputation with that, because there's many companies, one very particular that consists of 2 letters, that just when their game's broke, they don't give a damn, and they'll try and promote everything about it, but the game's still broke, and they don't care, as long as you pay them.
So, here's the plan. The team is assigned to fixing bugs and the most obvious problems. Go. Sean tells the team to stop reading all the overwhelmingly negative feedback on the game,
Makes
and
sense.
he reroutes
Don't do that.
all of it to his personal devices. Emails, forum posts.
That's true. You don't want to be reading negative comments. Personally, they don't affect me that much. I mean, on a bad day, if you just see a negative comment, it can get you down. And that's one thing about being or doing YouTube or anything like that. You know, they can really get you down if you're not mentally prepared. And not everyone can deal with it. You know what I mean? Personally, it was kind of shocking. Like for me, if it were to get to me, I would just not read it. But people point out to me that not everyone is wired like me. So yeah, I have to respect that some people get down. Makes sense. He took all the negative comments and told them what to do. He's a leader. That's what I like to see.
Google News alerts, player feedback, it's all going directly to him.
I mean, that's got to hit him in the
Then he
face.
starts breaking that down into data sets. People who haven't bought the game, people who have bought it and played it for 100
Very
hours,
analytical.
people who have returned it, etc. Then he starts
Smart.
compiling those complaints into usable data,
Very
focusing
smart.
on the people with the most sincere experience of the game. Then we start making a big laundry list of all the things that need adding and prioritizing. First thing to fix is that full inventory. Then community mod support. Then a third thing, etc., etc. This is going to take an enormous amount of work to pull off, and they're not going to make the same mistake.
That's definitely smart, because some companies wouldn't do that. Some companies wouldn't pull all the complaints and see, well, this person has played my game for this long, so they probably have more experience. This person doesn't even own my game, and they're talking shit. So how do they know what the real problem is? That was very smart on his end. I gotta give it to him.
Twice. So they would need to sharply adjust their PR strategy. Anything they said right now,
Where's
an
his
admission of
socks?
guilt,
I've made a severe
would be met with criticism.
Oh no.
Denial, it's not that bad, would be met with criticism. Corporate speak, well, we endeavored to make the best game we could and we are proud of what we have, would be met with criticism. Half of the problems have been caused by speaking too much. So they were going to do a complete 180.
Not
Instead
talk
of
at
adding
all.
more fuel to the fire, instead of accidentally promising fixes that might also not be delivered, they wouldn't speak to the press again.
Female traits you're talking
This is
about.
the
I could
Jordan
say that's a
Peterson thing.
generalisation, but you-
They were going to speak to the community directly from now on. So they told
Makes
the
sense.
audience they were working on it and went completely silent. 1 day passed. No word. 2 days. A
3.
week. Have you heard from Hello Games? They just had this disastrous release. Nope, haven't seen them. I hope they're working on the game. 2 weeks. Dude, are you working on this thing? Just ignore them, just work. 3 weeks. Okay, what the fuck is going on?
WTF, it's locked.
A month. They took the fucking money and ran, didn't they? Didn't say anything, it's not gonna help. 2 months. 3 months.
They were silent for 3 months.
By now, most people were convinced that the game was abandoned. They had made their money. It's all over.
You could have done that.
Then, after over 100 days of absolute silence, a tweet. Foundation. The first big patch. It is me, Sean. No, go away, Sean. I am mad at you. It has been too long. But I bring you gifts. His accent sucks. It brought face
Fuck's
building,
sake.
new game modes.
This is meant to be the bag from Fallout, Jesus. People doing British accents is always hilarious to me. You know what I mean? Because some of them are pretty good, some of them are pretty goddamn awful.
Farming, cats, and freighters, as well as a lot of bug fixes.
You will have to try
Right.
harder than that, Sean, to win my love back.
Who is this guy?
It still fell well shy
Big-
of the promised game.
Oh,
Too little, too late. So Sean left, returned to his team, and got back to work. A few more months went by, and then another tweet. Pathfinder.
What do we have here?
My man's lobbing the rook. For a big one, there we go.
The fuck?
Oh, it's usual.
I bring you online
Bricks.
base sharing, own multiple starships.
Whenever I see bricks, I just automatically think of that Home Alone 2 bit where the kid is throwing the bricks off the roof and they're smacking the guy in the head.
Ship specialization, multi-tool specialization and classes, permadeath modes, vehicles you can drive around in, and create racetracks for
Nice.
with time trials. Look at this.
Okay, that's pretty good. But I'm still mad, and there's still a ton promised that isn't in the game yet.
So Sean went away once more.
And back
A few
he
more
came.
months went by. Knock knock.
Oh, it's you, Sean. What is it now?
I bring you an overhaul to the storyline. New worlds, crashed freighters, space combat, terrain editing, portals, procedural mission system, interstellar trading, and joint exploration. By now, people were really starting to warm to No Man's Sky again, and to Hello Games.
The game has...
So what was that 9 months after release? See, they did probably need at least another year to fix the game fully, right?
in many ways exceeded what was promised.
It's a substantially better game now.
No Man's Sky is back, baby!
People saw this was an honest effort to fix the game, and the number of employees working on it was growing, from a studio of 15 to 25. Sean Murray and Hello Games social media also started becoming more active and engaging with the audience. The subreddit was flourishing once more. The price of the game second-hand on Amazon, eBay, and GameStop was going up.
Because the demand
increased.
increased.
4 months went by. Next, a really big patch.
8 gigs. Lord.
Oh my god. Holy shit!
Discord server reaction.
To be super clear, No Man's Sky is not fuck that. Here's the full and proper multiplayer experience. Ringed planets, third-person mode, character customization, a galactic atlas on an external website for the community, vast overhauls to base building and crafting and resources, and it also brought the game to Xbox. In fact, with the release of Next in July 2018, No Man's Sky was the 6th top
FIFA 18
game for the
FIFA 18. My heart. Actually, FIFA 18 was better than FIFA 19 and subsequently FIFA 20. But it still, it wasn't good. I think I might have just had a heart attack. Okay, I'm back. The Crew 2, did they not give that away for free? Fortnite Battle Royale. I mean, 2017 and then 2018 was really the year of Fortnite, wasn't it?
It climbed its way back into Steam's top 10. It reached nearly 100,000 concurrent players. It brought another $24 million across all platforms.
Fortnite may finally be slowing down.
To
we can confirm Fortnite kind of slowed down a little bit, but they're still probably the biggest game. You know what I mean? And we're 2020 now.
People were getting back on board in a big way. But they weren't done yet.
The Abyss.
Better creatures. Weird underwater.
Shit.
Discoveries in bases and environments and equipment. And it keeps going. New biomes, more diversity, archaeology, more things to discover. By now, Sean and the gaming inspector personification of the gaming community had literally patched things up. And were making out.
What am I saying? Is that FIFA?
Which was when he released his biggest patch to date of this video.
Oh my god,
Free VR support. Not a whole lot of you have to pay for, like some titles.
Yeah! Oh my god, hey, shots fired, Mr. Internet Historian, bro. What are you doing to me? Oh, whoops. What just happened here?
PCs,
boys.
base building, streaming multiplayer.
What is going on?
All sorts of stuff that was never promised.
Alright, hold on. What the hell has just happened there? Oh, fuck? Okay.
In the first place. And they're still adding more stuff.
Someone at Valve, who was a fan of the game, said to me, what you do now is more important than what you say. There's only one
for a minute, I thought this guy was dancing when he first started. He's doing sign language. Fuck's
thing
sake.
that's credible, and that's your actions.
In fact, I was so slow to get this video out that they put out another patch the other day. With ship salvaging, ship upgrading, more advanced terrain editing, first-person exocrafts, improved VR, improved base building and inventory management, and quality of life stuff. It goes on. Is it perfect?
No.
Technically, there are still things on this spreadsheet missing. But come on now, we're starting to nitpick. Especially when you compare them to relationships with other games companies.
Here we go.
They could have gone the route of Fallout 76. paywall mods with Fallout First, charging a monthly fee, a downward spiral more and more into pay-to-win scraps released without QA testing.
Fucked up.
But instead, they never added pay-to-win. They never
Very
added
smart.
microtransactions or paid DLC.
Thank the Lord.
They never made VR as a second game. They didn't give up on the game or scale
28
resources
viewers,
back to do it.
yow!
They didn't come out and call all gamers entitled. They didn't add loot boxes. They didn't start work on the next big project or sequel. They didn't do much of anything except get back to work.
You have to give them credit, because a lot of companies would have done what they called Bethesda, EA, all those companies do, and add loot boxes. Like, we need to make financial incentive, you know what I mean, for us to do it. Well, these guys obviously knew they'd rather have a good reputation, and they obviously actually liked their game. You know, they'd rather have a good reputation than a shit reputation where they make a one-time big chunk of cash. Because now, once they fully fix this game up and it's to its full potential, then they can actually work on other games and people will buy their game. Whereas there's other companies now, people don't want to buy their game or even give them money.
And just like that, the game once panned by critics now had awards rolling in.
Nice.
Your developed star 2019, No Man's Sky, Sean Murray.
No Man's Sky next.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky's next.
No Man's Sky.
And to cap it all off, the subreddit No Man's Sky the Game even got together and pooled money for a GoFundMe to have a billboard installed near the Hello Games offices.
That's pretty cool.
It must have been a harrowing moment for Sean and the team. They took a huge risk to start a small studio. They clawed their way up to create one of the most notable games of the console generation. Disappointed pretty much everyone with the release, and took one of the biggest online beatings in video game history for it.
As a family, post-release, we faced some really difficult challenges. Everything that you can imagine from like the worst of the internet, we hit.
But then over the course of the next 3 years,
they
completely turned it around and came out the other side with a win.
So, in all honesty, for them to get to what people expected, it took them almost 4 years it took them many years from a developmental standpoint, but they would have needed an additional 3 years to get the game to what they needed it to be, you know?
The underdog story. And after doing all of this research, I couldn't help but come to the conclusion that they were the good guys.
Correct.
So what is the future for Hello Games? In 2017, they announced Hello Labs, a support program focused on original titles and games using procedural generation. Two of the team also branched off to work on a small title called The Last Campfire. But for the foreseeable future, they're just working on No Man's Sky.
Hey man, at least they built the game. And well played.
Alright, I didn't want to finish the video on like a big sappy note. So, this is the end of the story, but there's still another few minutes. Don't leave, it's not an ad. Okay, in 2015, when the hype was at its peak, someone wrote a Sean Murray erotic fanfiction.
Oh, for fuck's sake, dude.
I assumed that you lot would want to see it.
Nah.
So, here it is.
Boys.
My evening interview.
Boys. Boys. I don't want to hear this. But I know if I don't listen to it, people are going to roast me. You know what? I'll listen to it for you guys, but I can't do this.
I arrived at the Hello Games office in the early evening, as the sun was approaching the horizon. Taking a deep breath, I nervously pressed the doorbell. The door opened, and Sean poked his expressive face out to greet me. "Hey you," he exclaimed in his adorable British-Australian accent. "I'm so happy you could make it and spend the evening with us. I was so happy when I heard you agreed to let me come in for an interview."
How old is
I
that
said.
person?
"Oh yeah, the interview. I forgot," he replied with his usual brilliant humor. I laughed. "You're so funny, Sean. Let me show you my office." "I have a surprise for you," Sean said. He led me to the room where we sat down on a soft vinyl couch. "So let me show you the surprise," he said, softly. "It's the newest build of the game. We just added some new features." He booted up the game on a PS4 in his office. I stared at his face. I like your beard. It's sexy," I pretended to say to him in my head to myself. I had a secret crush on him. There was something about his humble demeanor and feeble yet handsome bone structure that was so alluring.
How is this guy
So
not
here's the game, he said
breaking down
eagerly.
laughing
It opened on an alien world just calling out to be explored. I began to sweat. Here it finally was, in front of me in all of its glory, and it was being played by Sean in front of me in all of his glory. I nervously spoke. Could I try playing? I said. Oh, I suppose, of course, he said, chuckling. But another few minutes passed without him handing me the controls. Sean, I said more confidently. I put my hands on his hands as he gripped the controller.
Oh, there it is.
He looked me straight in the eyes. I stared deep into his beautiful, glistening eyes, utterly transfixed. Sure, he said. He let go of the PlayStation controller, still sweaty from his firm grip. But I have another surprise to show you. He stood up. Mike,
Redacted.
he muttered. Yes, please,
Yikes.
I said, blushing as red as the treetop.
I knew he was gonna break down, dude.
He grabbed my shoulders, guiding me confidently towards the coffee table, like he
boys.
confidently guides the Hello Games team towards the game's release. The one true Sean Murray,
sake.
not that baby-faced loser asshole poser from NCIS.
Why did they have the
Made sweet,
Champions League and
sweet
the
love to me.
F1 game?
I wasn't sure what I was more excited about.
Oh my
Finally,
god. Internet
Sean
historian,
Murray,
bro.
or
What have you
finally
done to
playing
me?
No Man's Sky.
What have
After
you
exploring
done
the
to
planet's
me?
surface, I entered my spaceship and took off. Just as I left the atmosphere and burst into the breathtaking expanse of space.
Redacted.
Please redact all of that.
It was an out-of-world experience.
Don't read the rest. Please. My god.
Oculus Rift support, he uttered sensually. As I turned,
Can we
I
not?
saw Sean's avatar standing before me in a beautiful, procedurally generated spacesuit. Like what you see, he said.
Oh, please.
It's time, everybody, he shouted. I heard footsteps slowly enter from the cramped office. I soon saw many spacesuits appear before me in-game. But as they took off their helmets, I realized that they were all the same Sean Murray avatar. I was about to be
Redacted.
by a group of Sean
Oh
Murrays,
god.
but they all had one difference. The big
Redacted.
each piece
Redacted.
was
I can't do this, boys.
different. There were wide ones, thin ones,
Oh.
long ones.
Oh, God,
curved
please.
ones. It was magical. As the Hello Games team began to
Redacted.
from somewhere in the room, I heard Sean whisper, "Every
Redacted.
procedural."
Nah.
Also, I did a thing on the second channel. Please do check it out. I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, you know what, boys? Right there, I'm ending it, man. That is disturbing. That is so goddamn disturbing, boys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Fuck that shit, dude. No way. Fuck that.